Hello students, today we are going to deal with lesson 14, striving for better environment. This is a EVS lesson which is included in Science 1 and it carries a mark distribution of 4 marks. So in general you should know what is environment, what is environment getting problem from. That means in short I am asking you what is pollution. Environment is our surrounding. It contains various biotic and abiotic factors. Now then where does the pollution come from or what is pollution? So pollution is a contamination of our environment. From where does this contamination take place? It takes place through us only. We are doing some activities and that is creating pollution. Now where is this pollution created? It is created in our surroundings. That means in air, in water, on soil. It can create various types of pollution also. So when I say air, water, soil, these are all abiotic factors. So plants, animals, human beings, microorganisms, they cannot survive without abiotic factors. They need their support. So when biotic factors and abiotic factors go along with it in the environment for their survival, that is called an ecosystem. And if the ecosystem gets contaminated, it is called as pollution. Now what is pollution? If I say the air in our surrounding contains carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide is also considered as a contaminant. The carbon dioxide content in the air should be only 0.03%. But if it exceeds this limit, it is called as a contaminant. So this carbon dioxide, from where it is coming out? It is coming from various factories, industries, your vehicles. They are emitting so much amount of carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide is acting as a contaminant in the air. Then if I say, does noise also create pollution? Your answer should be yes. If too much big noise, loud noise is there, can you just not feel unhappy about it? How will you feel? You'll feel irritated. So when you start feeling irritated, when it is not a pleasant sound, it is called noise. And when this noise becomes a problem for us, it is called noise pollution. So we are going to talk about different types of pollutions. So I have just written in short, what are the different types of pollutions we see? There is air pollution, there is water pollution, there is soil pollution, there is noise pollution, and there is radioactive pollution also. We are going to deal with every type of pollution one by one. So when a pollutant in the air or in the water, in the soil, it exceeds the limit, it starts creating problem for the human beings, for the animals, for the birds, for the animals living in the water. It starts creating problem for their survival. And then this is called as pollution. Is it required that we should do something about the pollution? Very much, because in the end it is actually affecting our survival. It is affecting our health. How we will survive in such type of environment. So let us see what are the different types of pollutions. Let's start with air pollution. What is the major thing which is creating this air pollution? I think modernization and industrialization. These two things are actually changing the concentration of different gases in air, and that is why it is causing air pollution. So what is modernization has to do with it? When we are talking about modernization, we are bringing so many changes in ourselves. We are bringing changes in our environment. So this modernization has a side effect. The side effect is we are trying to create, or we are actually unknowingly creating large amount of pollutants. Industrialization. We are setting up so many industries, so many small scale, big scale industries. What are these industries doing? Industries are producing your products, but what is along with that, what are they doing? They are producing large amount of pollution, and that gets mixed with the air and it is called air pollution. So we are seeing about the air pollution. What are the major sources of air pollution? If I say industrialization, yes, it is the source. but from where, in general terms, from where so much pollution or so much pollutant gases are coming out. So first point out we can say is transportation. So many types of vehicles are running on the roads. So they are transporting things from one end to another end. We are transporting ourselves. We are transporting goods. We are making use of railway engines, buses, then trains, then aeroplanes for transporting things. But what is happening? It is creating so many types of pollutant and pollutant gases. So this is one of the major sources, or transportation is one of the major sources of air pollution. Then I can say power plants. So many power plants are running to provide you the power. But along with that, they are producing many types of gases which gets mixed with the air. This is how another source is there for getting the air pollution. Then industrial process. As I said, number of types of industries have come up, and these industries are giving out large number of effluents. Effluents means a waste product. This waste product can be in the form of gaseous state, can be in the form of liquid state. So when it gets mixed with the air, we call it as air pollution. When that effluent gets mixed with the water, we call it as water pollution. So it is one of the major reason or the source of air pollution. Another source is when we are burning the solid waste. So much waste is collected from all over our country, and there must be some dumping ground. What do? They burn that waste. Burning of this waste also creates large amount of air pollution. So these are the sources which we can talk about and think about. These are the sources which are creating so much air pollution. Now, is the air pollution different in urban area and rural area? There might be some difference. In the urban area, we see number of factories, industries, more vehicles, more power plants, and that is why we see the quality of air in urban area is very poor. When I say quality of air, it means besides the normal gases present in air, there are number of pollutants present in the air in the urban area. And this causes large amount of problems for the people living in the urban area. But is there any difference in the rural area? In the rural area also, large amount of gaseous pollutants are given out when the agricultural waste is burnt, when the biogas plant is made, or when the waste is not disposed of properly. There also the air pollution is seen. But comparatively, the rural areas air is of better quality than the urban area. Now, we are talking about air pollutants. So, what are air pollutants? Now, air pollutants can be actually classified into two types: primary air pollutants and secondary air pollutants. Now, what is primary air pollutants? Now, primary and secondary are based on their origin. Primary air pollutants, what is their origin? The origin is your cars, scooters, vehicles, aeroplanes, bus, trucks, directly coming from the vehicles, directly coming from the power plants, directly coming from the burning of the waste. So this can be called as primary pollutants. That means the origin is direct from that matter. But then another type is secondary pollutants. Secondary pollutants is not directly from the target area. Here the pollutants which are primary pollutants, they react with another matter and they form a secondary type of pollutant. Now, for example, primary and secondary pollutant reaction, oxygen can react with another oxygen metal and it forms the ozone, and this ozone is O3. Then hydrogen cyanide also, the gas which contains hydrogen and the gas which contains cyanide, they can react and form hydrogen cyanide. This is also a secondary type of pollutant. Ketones, number of ketones can be formed by reaction with primary pollutants also. So these are the secondary type of pollutants. Primary and secondary pollutants are based on their origin, from where they are coming. Secondary pollutants do not come directly from any source. It is indirect secondary pollutants. Second type of air pollutants which we can talk about is according to the state of matter. Now you know there are three states of matter: solid, liquid and gaseous. Now when I say gaseous air pollutants, we can say the exhaust fumes which comes out contains sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen. These are all the gaseous types of air pollutants which get mixed with the air. Particulate type of air pollutants. Particulate type means they are in the form of small particles which float in the air. That means unburned carbon from the exhaust fumes, they are the particulate type. The dust, the solid particles which do not get mixed with anything else, but it floats in water. And these are types of the which remain suspended in air, and these are called as particulate type of air pollutants. The third type of air pollutant can be according to their sources. First we saw it is according to the origin. Second we saw it is according to their state of matter. And third we are going to see is it is according to their sources. According to sources means it can be natural, it can be man-made source. What is natural source? The natural source can be volcanic eruptions. We are not making volcano eruptions, it is happening naturally. It can be forest fire, it can be dust storm, sandstorm. So these type of things which we don't regulate, they are natural, and that's why this source is natural. When volcano eruptions takes place, large amount of lava is coming out, and that lava gives out number of gases which gets mixed with the air. Forest fires, they also create large number of particulate and gaseous state type of pollutants which gets mixed with the air. Man-made sources, obviously maximum reason of air pollution is man-made. So man-made sources, it can be industries, it can be factories, it can be vehicles, it can be nuclear explosions, it can be automobiles. So all these things which we are making use for ourselves, they are creating large number of pollution or pollutants. So we saw three major types of air pollutants. First according to their origin, second according to their state of matter, third according to their sources. So what can be the various sources of air pollution? The sources according to WHO, China has maximum amount of pollution in air, and second is coming India's number. So we are talking about sources of air pollution. I have just listed down the sources of air pollution which we discussed. Main are four, which are transportation, industry, agriculture and burning. If I talk about transportation, as I said, number of types of vehicles are used for transportation of goods, transportation of human beings, transportation of other things. So bus, scooter, car, truck, tempo, railway, then aeroplanes, all these are the means of transportation, and these transportation actually are causing 50% of the total pollution of the air. These are the main reason of pollution of air. If you go on a highway also and stand for 10 minutes, you will see so much amount of exhaust fumes are coming from the vehicles. So many types of vehicles are used, and these vehicles are giving out so much pollutants in the air, because the fuel which we use is a fossil fuel. It contains large number of carbon compounds, and these carbon compounds on burning leave behind unburned carbon, and this is the reason the sulfur compound converts into sulfur dioxide, carbon compound converts into carbon dioxide, nitrogen compound present in the fossil fuel converts into nitrogen oxides, and therefore these get mixed with the air. So burning of these fossil fuels can cause large amount of pollutants in the air. Then second is industry. There are various types of industries present around us. So these industries are producing the products, but they are also producing number of effluent gases, and these gases mix with the air. There are the industries which are called textile industry, then the agricultural industry, then drilling, rocking, making of different chemicals. So all these types of industries are there, foundries are there, cotton mills are there, paper mills are there. So these are the industries which are producing large amount of pollutants in the air. Then we come to agriculture. So how can agriculture create pollution? Because agriculture is a very good thing. But in agriculture, we are making use of technology. We are making use of pesticides. We are making use of chemical fertilizers. So all these things, pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, along with that the fertilizers, they all are actually chemical based. And when we spray on the agricultural field, we see that it gets mixed with the air. In the agriculture field also, there are a number of types of chemicals used. With the help of biotechnology, number of types of different types of seeds are also available. We are making use of all the things, but in turn we are also adding to the pollution of the air. Now these air pollutants can affect human body, but it depends on some factors. What factors? It depends on the concentration of pollutants. It depends on the time period of these pollutants present in the air, or exposure of human beings to that pollutants, and also depends on the nature of pollution or nature of pollutants. So three factors are very important: concentration of pollutants, the time factor or the time period of exposure, and third, the nature of the pollutants. It can affect the human beings. Now human beings can get affected. There are various types of effect on us. It can be short term effect, it can be a long term effect. What can be the short term effect? I can say irritation of eyes. You get irritated very fast. When I am standing on the highway and lot of gases are there, my eyes start watering or it becomes very dry. Then I can have the problems of breathing. So respiratory problems can come. Then I can have headache or giddiness, that is chakkar in it. So that is also one of the possibility because of the air pollution. Then I can get an asthma attack. Asthma attack means I am not able to breathe at all and my lungs are not able to take that air, and that is asthma attack. Then I can have the problem of lung functioning. My lung may not work as good as if it was working earlier. So air pollution have a short term effects on almost all the human beings. You can get irritated in your eyes, you can get irritated in your nose, you can have a nausea feeling, you can have headache, you can have lung problem, you may have the difficulty in breathing. So these are the short term effects on human beings. Are there any long term effects? Yes. If a person is living in such an area that it is having large pollution in air, then what effect it has on the human beings? Long term effects, we can say we can have a chronic pulmonary disease, that is a heart disease can happen. It can happen that cardiovascular diseases can attack you. Then you can have a lung cancer, and premature death also is possibility because of the air pollution. So these things are long term effects, not short term effects. Now we have talked about the effect on human beings. What about the effect on animals? Do animals get affected? Yes. Animals are living creatures. They get affected due to air pollution. The only difference is animals cannot speak out. Animals can't do anything, and that is why they are helpless. The various types of particulate matter which is present in the air as pollutants can enter the animal body through their lungs, and that is how it may affect their lung. They may also face premature death. They may affect the body tissues. They may affect the various systems working in their body. Does it have an effect on plant? Yes, air pollution also have effect on plant. We may see yellowing of the leaves very fast. That means the leaves may turn yellow in color, or the reduction in the growth of the plant. Growth of the plant is stunted, it is not growing as required, or chlorosis of the leaf, that is the disease which is caused by the air pollution. Then we have talked about the effect on human beings, animals, plants. But major thing, what is the effect on the environment? It has a very drastic effect on environment. That the atmosphere or the surrounding is getting affected due to large number of pollutants in the air, and thus it is causing problems in the environment. The first type of change which we see after air pollution is acid rain. Now, there are number of gases which are given out through the factories, industries, vehicles. For example, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. Now, these oxides are in the air. When they react with water of the rain, they turn into acidic nature. And so, the water which comes down is slightly acidic. And therefore, we call this type of rain as acid rain. Now, whether acid rain is good or bad? Obviously, acid rain is very bad for us. It is bad for our survival. It can get mixed with the water bodies where so many types of flora and fauna are growing. It can affect us. It can affect the monument also. The best example affecting a monument is Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal has turned yellowish in color. Now, there are some reasons for it. One of the reason is acid rain. The other reason is around the Taj Mahal there are many factories, and there is one type of a rubber factory also which gives out large amount of pollutants, and these all factors actually are turning the marble of Taj Mahal yellow in color. So this is how it can corrode building. It can change the nature of the water in the water bodies. It can affect the agricultural field. It can affect the crop production. So many types of problems can come because of acid rain. Another problem is ozone layer depletion. Now, our atmosphere is surrounded by a layer which is called as ozone layer. What is this ozone layer doing? Ozone layer actually is protecting us from the ultraviolet radiations of the sun. But because of so much pollution in the air, these pollutant gases are actually reacting with the ozone and creating holes. Not exactly holes, but they are making that the ozone layer very thin, and that is why in general terms it is called ozone holes are being made. This may happen, and what will be the effect on us? Ultraviolet radiations may directly affect on the earth, and it may cause cancer to us, or it may cause problems to the plants and animals. So this is second type of effect, ozone layer depletion. First we saw acid rain. Then third, I can say what is greenhouse effect. Does it affect the greenhouse? That means what is greenhouse? Actually, greenhouse effect is good effect. When there are some gases that like carbon dioxide present in the air, what is this carbon dioxide doing? It is absorbing the heat from the sun. The sun's radiations are falling down on the earth, it is reflected back, and this is absorbed by the carbon dioxide. Now, this carbon dioxide is maintaining the temperature of the earth around us, or the atmosphere of the earth around us. But when this concentration of carbon dioxide increases along with some sulfur dioxide, other types of pollutants which can actually absorb the heat, they are absorbing more and more heat than required, and that is why it is leading now greenhouse effect, which was good, it is leading to the global warming. And this global warming is actually a very severe type of problem which we are facing. Global warming can affect us in many ways. It is said that in coming years, if we do not do anything about environment and global warming, the coastal areas of our earth may get submerged. So this is a very serious and grave problem which we are facing. So global warming should be reduced. For that, the air pollution or the pollutants which are entering the air concentration has to be reduced anyhow. So this was the effect of air pollution, which can lead to various health problems, various problems in the ecosystem, various problems in the abiotic factors also. This was about air pollution. Now let's go to the water pollution.